Japan, the land of cherry blossoms and technology. Mount Fuji, the sacred mountain of Japan, dominates with its beauty on the Japanese landscape and is considered to be the most beautiful volcano in the world. The last emperor of the world. The people of Japan received with horror the message of the Emperor Hirohito in 1945 of the capitulation of Japan to the United States. For the Japanese, this was not just the end of World War II, for which they had to suffer the consequences that the atomic bombs dealt on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but also it was the end of the myth for a Japanese empire. The myth of the House of the Emperor takes root from the time of the Emperor Jimmu. The myth of the House of the Emperor takes root from the time of Emperor Jimmu, which legends say he was ascended as emperor due to his lineage to the sun goddess Amaterasu in 660 BC. Jimmu's descendants then built Kyoto, the imperial city. Kyoto has been the capital of Japan as well as the home of the emperor for more than a millennium, and during the Middle Ages it enjoyed growth and prosperity. On the other hand, the rest of Japan was mainly rural and kept under strict control with the help of the army. The leaders of this army, the samurai, slowly gained more control and influence over the country until the Emperor of Japan is left isolated in Kyoto like a bird in a golden cage. The samurai and their leader, the shogun, are successful in protecting Japan from foreign influences. It wasn't until 1854 when an American fleet finally discovered it. 14 years later, when the 15-year-old emperor ascends the throne, the last shogun comes into power. This was the time when Japan finally left its isolationist policies and started industrialization. The present-day Emperor Naruhito only serves as a figurehead for Japan, despite his title being Emperor of God. Some hot tourist spots in Japan are Mount Fuji, Kyoto, the imperial city, Tokyo, Sapporo ski area, and the hot springs of Beppu. Some interesting facts about Japan are that the national sport of Japan is sumo, a type of wrestling, and has extremely strict rules. To participate professionally, there is a minimum height and weight requirement. On the 6th of August 1945, Hiroshima was destroyed by the atomic bomb. 3 days later, Nagasaki met the same fate. The attack on Hiroshima takes the lives of 80,000 people, forcing Japan to capitulate to the United States. Japanese is a very difficult language to learn. There are 3 forms of written Japanese. They are katakana, hiragana, and kanji. A traditional form of Japanese theater is called kabuki. In all major kabuki theaters, all roles are performed by male actors, including the female. Males that act out the female roles are known as onagata. The climate of Japan is variable. However, it tends to be damp and rainy. It contains 3 different climates: temperate, subtropical, and tropical. The average temperature in Tokyo is between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius, and in August it is between 22 and 30 degrees Celsius. The political map of Japan. The political map of Japan. The Japanese archipelago is around 2,200 kilometers long and contains around 4,000 islands that cover 3 climate zones: temperate, subtropical, land of the rising sun. Japan is a country of many contrasts. A large portion of the population is still rural. However, among the stillness of the mountains, bustling metropolises filled with technology can be found. It is the country with the most technological expertise in the world. Any person would be jealous of the view that people get while flying over Japan. As they look through the airplane window and admire the still waters of the Pacific Ocean, they might see the 4 major islands of Japan: Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku. From on high, you can see the wide fields, tall mountains, and more than 250 volcanoes, of which more than 100 are active. The Japanese Isles are found between the Sea of Okhotsk, the Sea of Japan, the East China Sea, and the Pacific Ocean. Japan is found in an area with a lot of tectonic activity and gets an average of 1,500 earthquakes annually. In 1995, a large earthquake occurred in the industrial city of Kobe, destroying the homes of tens of thousands of people. Often, if you buy a camera or other electronic apparatus, chances are it was made in the land of the rising sun. In Japan, the headquarters of all technological companies prefer to be in the highly developed industrial cities where 3/4 of the population lives. The mountains are mainly preferred by the Buddhist monks and Catholic priests. The general populace, on their part, consider these places strictly for hermits. Statistics. The area of Japan is around 377,975 kilometers squared. The population in 2019 was 126.3 million, and in 2006 it was 127.9 million. The population density in 2021 was 247 people per kilometer squared, and in 2006 it was 238 people per kilometer squared. The highest point is Mount Fujiyama, which stands at 3,776 meters tall. In a nutshell, the official name of Japan is Nippon or Nihon. Its capital city is Tokyo. The major religions are Shintoism and Buddhism. The official language is Japanese. The currency is yen. And their largest cities are Yokohama, Osaka, Kobe, Nagoya, Sapporo, and Kyoto.